I'm Allie. I came out after 20 years of marriage and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melissa and I have 2 kids and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles. Lesbian Chronicles, Charlie.
I know, Charlie.
Funny. Are you bored, Charlie? Am I boring, Charlie?
Charlie, is this not fun for you? You've been sleeping all day.
I like when you talk to Charlie, her face turns towards you. Like it's almost like she looks like a puppet.
She does. She looks like animatronic.
She's animatronic. It's like you're holding a puppy and you turn her face towards you.
I like a little puppet.
Like a puppet.
I look at her all the time and I say, "How are you real? Like, how is this a real dog?"
Mhm.
And she's right now. I'm holding her up, like, so she can look at you. Well, although she's not looking at you at the moment,
It's
but
like a ventriloquist. Yeah. Hi, Charlie. Charlie.
but this is like the only way that she's happy is like if I'm holding her like this.
But the best is when she turns her neck and looks at you while you're talking.
Charlie, what are you doing?
I gotta take a picture of this. Oh my
Charlie,
God. I have to.
hello.
I have
Hi.
to.
How are we today?
Oh my God.
I think she
that's what
smells chicken on my breath.
oh my God. That was really funny.
I don't know if you
All
saw
right.
my pictures from Thanksgiving, but I literally had to put this dog in like the baby pouch that I have for her to get her to leave me alone.
It's funny because Tatum is home from college and she has a kitten and she wants something to carry the kitten around. She's like constantly saying like, I'm a single mom now. I know what it means to be a mother.
Single mom.
And she wants to like carry her around and they only have the carriers for dogs.
Well, why can't she just stick the cat in a dog carrier?
Cats are a little more like the cat.
Well, they're gonna do what the fuck they want. Yeah.
They do what the fuck they want.
I have seen that little like capsule thing. It's like a backpack and it's clear, like plastic clear, and you can put the cat in a backpack.
Wait, do you like seal up the backpack? Like they're like
Yeah, it almost looks like a little rocket ship.
Okay. Not like a body bag.
Although you might need one sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's the cat backpack bubble.
Okay, I'll have to tell her about. Maybe I'll get it for her for Christmas. We
It's
have
not
some
bad.
exciting news with the name you came up with so quickly.
Yes, so quickly.
Let's head on over to the Love Lounge. I love it.
We've got our Love Lounge. We've already got 2 people that have submitted.
There's probably more in there that we haven't seen, but there's 2 we've listened to, and we'll eventually, I hope, play them all.
Yeah.
Like little by little. The first one that I heard, I loved, but we can do that at the end.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the end of the
stay
episode, or just fast forward. I don't know if you guys don't want to hear us ramble.
Episode, and now know that we're going to try to have this Love Lounge segment where we head over to the Love Lounge and we play a pitch.
A clip from a single lady somewhere in the world that is looking to connect. So
right. It's very,
I love
very,
it.
very, very, very cool. All right, my friends, we're trying to stay positive this week.
Yeah, it's the holidays and it can be a bummer of a time of year, as we usually point out around the holidays. December is the divorce anniversary, I think, because we've both.
Yeah.
Did we sign on the same day or finalize something like that? Or maybe that was me and Kristen.
No, it's me and you in December.
I can't remember, but anyway.
Day, but we're definitely, I was like December 16th or 17th, something right around there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's like your body remembers.
Yeah.
I guess like every Christmas lately, it just feels kind of like, ugh, like I love Christmas though.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a stress. I personally have a lot of stressors right now that aren't great. So I normally don't feel like that, and I do this year. So I relate to the people that are feeling it. And we have seen a few emails from people that are talking about things like being lonely or feeling this sense of like they did all this work and now here they are and it's like I'm alone. And I think it does get better, obviously, but I think it is like Christmas highlights how alone you are.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in your face
all
the time. So we are not going to talk about it.
No, we're not. We're going to brush that right under the rug. I'm going to go back to my Catholic upbringing and just brush that right under the
Bury our
rug.
heads in the sand, you
Yeah,
know?
we're
What
not gonna
better
talk about
way
it.
to
We're
get
not
through
gonna
it?
talk about it, right?
So
But you did make me laugh today with something I'd never heard of before, which we won't go into too deeply because we're gonna do a whole episode on it, but this Peter Pan syndrome.
yes, I
Like
had a friend bring this
hilarious.
up to me recently about how they're encountering a lot of people in their life that have Peter Pan syndrome, which is, I don't want to grow up.
Yeah,
Like they don't want the responsibilities of life and relationships, and they just kind of want to be free spirits, Peter Pan.
right.
So
I've literally never heard of that until you said it.
it's a thing. You can Google it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious if people have like experienced this in dating at all. If you have, send us an email. We'll read it if you're open to it. So, but yeah, it's a thing.
Funny when you said that too, because like I am so not like that. It's so unattractive to me when women are not grown women, like that are
Hmm.
like, not Peter Pans. Like that's
Not Peter
it's
Pan.
like I'm like, well, what's the anti Peter Pan?
Captain Hook.
Yeah, I guess I'm Captain Hook. So, I want like I really do like I like very very responsible people, like probably to a fault. Like I'm very attracted to grown, responsible people. It doesn't appeal to me to have the life of the party village idiot kind of person. That's not.
But I think sometimes you don't quite realize that that's what you're
No, you
encountering.
don't. You don't. You don't. You don't.
So,
Yeah.
you
Anyway,
know,
we're gonna do another,
uh,
but I just thought it was fascinating that I'm still like learning things that I've never heard of.
but yeah, the kind of idea that I had for this episode was that we just ask each other some silly questions. That's one of my favorite things to do, like on a road trip. I have this book,
Yeah.
and it's called 3,000 Questions About Me,
Yeah.
and it's so much fun, like conversation starter on at a party, on a road trip. Like,
We have this game that's like a box of cards and you can play it with friends, but then there's also a family edition, but there's a friends edition. And same thing, but it's like relatively deep questions. But we had it at a dinner party once with Maria's family and ended up in like a huge fight.
really?
Tears were shed. It was like a whole thing. Not
Because it was too deep of a conversation.
just like sparked. I think people were drinking and it like sparked some sensitivities, and it was just like I will never forget it. Like it ended up, and the kids heard it, like they were home and they heard it from another room, and they were like, "Do not get the game out again, Mom." Like,
Do not get the game out. I guess you probably should be kind of sensitive about that kind of stuff, but we used to play it in college. I had a whole other book. I don't know what happened to it. It literally had like teeth marks in it from my friend's dog, and I kept it for years and years and years. And we loved that, the question game. Like, let's sit around and drink and ask each other questions.
It's like Larry David said, it's no more small talk. I want medium talk.
Right. These are more, I don't know that they're small talk. Well, the thing that really sparked me to think about this too was I was listening to the Handsome podcast with Tig Notaro and Fortune Feimster and Mae Martin. Which I'd never listened to before. And they were just kind of goofy, you know, and like they were asking each other if you could clone yourself, would you? Like if you could make clones to like get shit done, like let's say you like make a clone and you're like, you're gonna clean the house.
Okay.
Or like you're gonna run errands.
Okay.
Like would you do that?
That's interesting. No.
And why not?
I don't know, because I have this thing where I think, and my kids and I just debated this, but when talking about like, do you want your kids, you know, everybody says like, I want my kids to be happy. And I remember like when I was little, I think my parents always would say that you're only happy if you're, well, maybe this would work with a clone, but your happy people are productive people. Like generally people, they can have all the money in the world, but if they just were given it and they're not productive humans, they're not happy. And so like, I wonder if you had a clone of yourself, would you not feel like you yourself are productive because you're not really doing it or
getting the gratification?
Yeah. Or maybe you would feel even more productive. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I'm like, okay, what are the technicalities here? Like, the details, like, is the clone like gonna, you know, run off and pretend to be me and like fuck up my world?
Yeah, like, are they just doing laundry quietly and then they'll
Yeah.
put it away?
Or is this like a multiplicity situation? You ever seen that
Yeah.
movie with Michael
Yep,
Keaton and like each
yep.
one gets dumber?
Yeah. Like, it's like every version is a little worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but maybe that's no different if you don't look at it, look at it as like a clone of yourself. You could even kind of say like, in some ways, technology has made our lives so much more productive in that like you get things done way faster than you would have before.
hmm
You know, you can get information quicker. You can, maybe that's like a similar thing.
Speaking of technology, have you seen that Netflix movie with Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke?
No, but I've seen the previews and I literally sat, we were gonna watch it and then we ended up picking a different movie. Is it good? Where
It's
the
really
boat-
good. It's called
the
Leave the
boat's
World
coming-
Behind.
Yeah, where the boat's coming towards the shore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't give away anything, but it is a good watch and it definitely makes you think about like you're saying, like the technology aspect of life.
Yeah,
Like all the stuff that's like so convenient that
yeah,
we don't even like notice anymore.
yeah, it's right. It's like part of everyday life. Everything is at your fingertips now. In a
And
way,
we've lived in that world for so long. If you think about it, like
right.
I think I had maps in my car for a short period of time
my
as a
parents
as
always
a
had-
teenage driver, and then
Right.
it was like MapQuest.
Yep.
You printed out the direction.
Yep. You printed it and now you don't even have to do that.
Now you don't have to print it. Now
Right.
it's on. And then you had to buy the GPS, like mount it on your dashboard. Now it's just on your phone. Like it's
Even
pretty
like
wild.
AI, where everyone's kind of freaking out. I'm kind of one of those people that thinks AI is going to create so much more productivity in a positive way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't
really-
know. For me, it's scary. It feels like it's gonna. It could infringe on my job. So-
Well, but then I think, or is it going to make your job, you're going to be more productive at your job?
crank out that many more stories.
Yeah, but this might make you feel better because you know how my company, we do a lot of blogging, like tons of
Mhm.
blogs. And we recently with Google realized, well, we didn't realize, somebody told us that you have to have like Google, they figure out if it's bots writing the content, they want experts writing the content, real people, experts, not just compiling information. They want real people. So we've had to like go back in the history of all our blogs and new blogs and create these like author bios that then are going to be templated into our blogging so that it's like
And-
every author is going to get credit with a bio at the bottom.
Oh,
People-
they're real people though.
They're real people. So
Okay, I
it's
thought you meant you're like
Google-
creating AI
No.
bios.
We're not going to do that because we want to we want Google to see us as real experts, not bots
Yeah,
spitting out this content.
right.
So in some ways, it's like your job feels cool because you're going to be the real expert, not the bot.
Not the bot. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like have real people behind it, and like prove
Yeah,
it.
prove it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it works.
like that.
It's like if you do that, then you're picked up more.
yeah.
So
Um,
I think it'll be good. So the clone, yes or no? Would you or would you not?
I don't think I would.
Okay.
Like mainly just kind of like what you're saying. Like I want the good feeling of like completing a task, and I also am scared of my clone. I don't know what she might be capable of.
Right. She might be like your alter ego.
She could be like, what is my drunk alter ego that's
I've
really
seen
mean?
that.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Kyle's
Kyle
not a good human. We don't want a
down-
Kyle running
walking
around
down
here.
Beach Street with a 6-pack.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I don't know. For those of you who don't know, years
Although,
ago, I was driving
yeah.
home from Midtown and I look over and I see this woman walking down the road by herself, real attractive woman walking down the road by herself with a 6-pack of beer. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Melissa?
It was me.
What are you doing? That's your alter ego.
I think I was going through a breakup. I think that's what I was
You
doing.
You actually were. Yep. You were headed to a
Um,
You were
and
headed
you
to
know
a
what's funny
hotel.
is
That's
we
how
have
we-
now run into each other on the streets of Atlanta on 2 different occasions.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God, we ran into each other in Kirkwood.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago. Like how fucking weird.
That's so fucking weird.
Our paths will cross
They do cross, and we're doing all the same shit all the time.
again. Yes.
I know. So it's really, really funny.
What do you want to do next?
Exactly. Please, can you keep it like
Should we
chill?
just like talk to each other first about what we
I
want to
know.
happen.
And it's like I want to keep it chill because it is like this thing where I just said this too. Like I don't want like I want boring. Like I'm
Yeah.
up for adventure, but I do not, I'm ready to have like a boring life. Like I want to just watch my shows in safety. I want to read my book. I'm not trying to have passionate drama. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm very boring. So if you could just kind of keep whatever you've got cooking,
Okay.
low
I'll try
drama.
to. Actually, I do feel like I'm going to be pretty low key, at least for the next few months.
Okay, good.
So,
Good.
speaking of shows, what would be what's your like go-to show that you can like watch over and over again?
Parent.
Transparent.
Love it.
Is that like a comfort show for you? Like you just pop it on, like
I
have it in
just
the background?
love these characters. Like I
Yeah.
love these characters. And actually I watched a show, a movie when you were talking about the Julia Roberts movie, that was we were going to watch that, but we ended up watching instead this Adam Driver movie called This Is Where I Leave You.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
love Adam
it.
Driver.
Yeah, my
God.
kids do too. And so, and I loved it. And like, I really, Jason Bateman's in it. Like, there's great people in it, but it reminded me a little bit of Transparent. It's like this
Mhm.
movie that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I can see that. Um,
What do you
for
watch?
me, like I have I really like to listen to something while I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
and so often it's Friends. It's kind of like
Okay.
my
Wow. Yeah.
go-to, which I've probably watched that series, I don't know, 25 times. Um,
But wait,
and
while you're
then
falling asleep, you have Friends on in the background audio.
mhm.
Okay, this is unbelievable. Why don't you just do bedtime stories?
I do that sometimes. Like I mix it up. Like for a while, I did podcasts, like murder podcasts, which I know sounds weird because it's like you're listening. Like, how is that relaxing? But I'm like, my life's terrible, but at least I'm not dead like these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But I kind of mix it up. But if I just want to like relax, Friends is like a good go-to show.
Yeah.
But after watching that movie on Netflix and like kind of thinking about what would life be like if I didn't have the internet, like, you know, I bought the entire series of Nurse Jackie because that
Oh,
is my
yeah.
favorite show
Oh my God,
ever.
I loved that show too.
And it's nowhere on streaming other than to like buy it on Amazon.
Mm.
And I'm like, if I don't have the internet, I can't stream it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I went on Amazon and bought like the physical copies, DVDs of like all 7 seasons.
Oh my God, I've never heard of this. Where do you even have, we don't even have a DVD player.
Oh, I have like 3.
What?
I always have a DVD player because anytime I move, and I've moved quite frequently, there is typically a period of time where I don't have the internet.
But do you want, like, I can't imagine being like, oh, I'm moved and I'm sitting around, I'm gonna pop a DVD.
It's a lot more rare for me to
Yeah.
do that now, for
Yeah.
sure. But I kind of keep them just for that time if like I don't have the internet,
Yeah, it's
especially
really
with
smart.
kids.
I know the kids thing is the thing, because that you're right. Like, I miss the days when my kids were little that I would put a DVD on in my van, my minivan.
Mhm.
Like that seems so easy. Like I would get in and put in like the one that sticks out to me is Cinder Elmo. Do you remember
Oh my
Cinder
God,
Elmo?
yes.
It was so good. And like that would be on like replay. And now it's like the kids all have iPads and they're like lost in their iPad versus like Cinder Elmo on in the background and I'm driving hearing it with them kind of.
But aren't you glad to not have to listen to that same stuff like over and over again
I don't know, there
anymore?
was something like comforting that we're sharing this thing.
Yeah.
Like now, I don't even know what he's doing on there. Like he's got his
Mhm.
iPad and he's
My
like,
son started hiding his iPad whenever I come up, and I'm like, this is so suspicious. Like, you've got to stop. I
yeah,
know
all
you're
of a
just
sudden you
watching
find out,
Minecraft videos,
or
and that's fine.
he's on like bigboobs.com.
I know. Yeah, Brecken. Oh God.
Is this
But so Cinder Elmo, I guess we can move on to this. What was the show that your kids were watching when they were babies? You probably had like a few cycles
so
of
we have a
different
few because
ones.
I have all different ages, but the one that I remember is Big Comfy Couch,
Mm.
Aquanaut or Aquanauts. What's
Octonauts.
Octonauts? Big Comfy Couch, Octonauts. My kids were never into Pet Patrol, Paw Patrol. I
Oh,
know
mine
my
were.
kids were, but my Tate was very into Dora.
Oh, yeah.
And then we did Baby Einstein, like when they were tiny.
Hmm.
And then I think Reed, because he had these big siblings, he kind of did what they did.
Yeah. He got like the advanced course.
He got the advanced course.
Yeah. My kids were obsessed with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse for a long time.
Okay, okay. That's good
Um,
usage.
it was good, but I would like sit there and dissect the episodes. Like Donald Duck drove me nuts. He was always an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when did Donald Duck become such a jerk?
Dick. Yeah. Yeah, like Caillou. I didn't realize what a
Oh, no, I made sure they never knew what Caillou was.
my kids were
Um, and let's see what else. They weren't really into Paw Patrol, and Kaylin was obsessed with watching Cinderella for the longest time,
okay, yeah.
but has no memory of it today.
Really?
Like she's like, I don't. She's like, I couldn't tell you a thing about Cinderella.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Brecken was like super obsessed with Cars,
Oh yeah, I
that
remember
all
that.
those
Yeah.
movies, but mainly it was on Netflix for a long time. Mater's Tall Tales,
What?
and it was just these little shorts featuring
Okay.
Mater, you know, the
Oh,
tow
okay.
truck. And I could probably tell you, like, if that started playing, I could be like,
Yeah.
oh, this one's next, and this one, like,
That's us
it,
with Cinderella. Like we need it, my ex-husband and I will stuff will come up, we'll like quote Cinderella. It was on all the time.
God.
Yeah.
There's also lately it's been Captain Underpants and SpongeBob,
Okay.
but I've legit had to tell them, like, you guys can no longer watch this in my presence
Why?
because I like the noises from it. Like
Yeah.
SpongeBob's intro is so fucking loud and
Yeah.
obnoxious, and then the principal talking on Captain Underpants makes my skin crawl.
Wow. But do you
So
ever feel as you're getting older, like I get hyper stimulated? Where it's
yeah, like things
for Reed,
really bug you.
yeah, it's just like that, like you said, that noise of like Reed will have his iPad on, and it's like I'm trying to tolerate it, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my God, turn that off.
Yeah.
Like
But you
it's
know what's weird too
yeah,
that I've recently realized is like because kids are younger, their ears are better and they hear things that we can't hear.
but
Like
would
I
it be
was
even louder than to him? Like, why does he want that?
right, like that's what doesn't make any sense to me, but I think it's more of like a pitch thing because I have this lighter that's like you just hit a button and it like creates this little spark
Oh my
thing.
God, I have the same one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
thing makes a noise
My
that
kids
my
can't-
kids
oh my
can
God.
hear and I can't.
Oh, I hear it, but I can't believe you're bringing this up. The light, first of all, is yours like the beautiful gold and white? It's like pretty to look at.
Well, it is pretty, but mine's just like a straight thing. It almost looks like a vape.
Okay,
And
yes. This one is
yeah,
pretty and it's like nice because you can leave it out and then you can light candles with it and it's got the little buzz. Well, I can hear it, but Owen and Oliver, who both have OCD to some extent, like they're both very like that way. Owen diagnosed, like he is definitely, they both cannot stand the sound. Like they plug their ear.
yeah,
Barely, it's like, it's nothing.
yeah. I could hear the little like noise, yeah,
They
but
cannot
like
take it.
they hear like a high pitched noise with it. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that those two boys who both have this thing, like literally, it's like it makes their skin crawl. They
Well,
plug their
see,
ears and
see
like,
if like you said Oliver or Owen and Oliver can hear it.
yeah,
Have you asked Reed?
yeah. Reed's like, what do you got? Who cares?
And
Like
he doesn't hear it.
he's like, it doesn't bother me.
Oh, I mean, my kids weren't like flipping out about it, but they were definitely like, what the hell is that noise?
No, mine are like,
Like,
one's like, turn it out. Like he's plugging his ears. He
oh
can't.
man, that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, it's weird. But there have been sounds like in my bedroom, there was like a buzzing noise that Maria could hear. And then I'm like, there is no noise. And she called in the kids and was like, do you hear it? Everyone could hear it. It was like a certain tone that I could not hear at all. And
Yeah,
you do not hear that. And I'm like, no. So it's
that's
like, I wonder if there is, dogs can hear certain things.
yeah.
I think I can't hear certain things.
I mean, I think my hearing's just damaged at this point.
Oh,
Like
maybe
I've been to too many concerts in
concerts.
front of too many speakers. Like we went to a drag show at City Winery and it was so fucking loud in there. Like you could feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
And I was with a few friends and we were all like putting paper towels like in our ears, like rolling them up to
Oh my
like,
God, the old ladies like. putting-
yes, we were the oldest people in there for sure after that.
Wait a minute. So, but your hearing's bad and it was that loud to you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck up my hearing even more by sitting here.
Yeah.
So I feel like there was somewhere else that we did that too. Oh, at the MSR party at Park Tavern.
It was too
It
loud.
was so loud in there, like we couldn't talk.
I can't stand that. I think you and I had dinner one night years ago at, in the bar in Barcelona.
Hmm.
And it was so loud that I remember thinking, I will never come back here for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Like I'm
Del Bar
screaming
is the
across
same
the-
way.
Yeah.
Del Bar in Inman Park, so fucking loud.
Love the food there though, so it's worth it to me.
Yeah. Well, I went with a big group to,
Mhm.
so it was like you could literally only talk to the person like in front of you.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
So,
That's why I said I want boring.
oh my
Just
God.
Like a low key night.
And now we're getting out the readers to look at the menu and
God.
turning on the flashlight.
Don't get me started. It's it all wait, just give it another year or two. It's literally unbelievable what's happening to me.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'll tell you what else though, Maria can't smell anything. Like my sense of smell is highly, like I can smell anything. I can smell if someone's smoking weed. I can smell if the dog, like I can smell everything. And she can't. And like we had a rotting avocado in our pantry that I'm like, how are you not? It smells horrible in here. She's like, I don't smell it.
Oh my God.
Sure enough, like I was right. But it's like that's
Maybe it happened. I don't know. I feel like if it happens gradually, I might not notice it, a smell. But my smell is not as good as it used to be. Like I used to joke that I had the nose of a bloodhound because I could like smell anything.
not anything.
Like Tom walked into the bedroom once. I'm like all the way across the room and I could smell the glass of wine that he brought in.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am
And,
now.
but now I think it's COVID too. I think my
That's what
my
Maria's saying.
smell is not back to normal.
She says that all the time. She's like, food doesn't even taste the same anymore. Like it's like bland. Everything's a little bland now.
Yeah, it's not quite as good.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. Give me the next question from your game.
Have you ever slapped someone? Ooh, it's a juicy
Yeah.
question.
Oh my God, I've slapped. Well, I've slapped Maria kidding, but I've slapped my brother-in-law before he was my brother-in-law hard.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
What'd he do?
We were young, like I was in college and my sister was out of college and she was engaged to him. And he was in her mind, like flirting with someone. And like we were at a party. He was like talking to this group of girls I'd been drinking. I don't know what came over me, but I literally, and he's kind of like an arrogant kind of guy. And I literally just like reached my hand back and slapped him hard across the face in front of like all his friends.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's
Did
the
he
only
do
time-
anything?
He just was infuriated.
Man.
Embarrassing for him, I'm sure. This little younger girl comes up. I'm like
Yeah.
hard pop.
You had to
shoot.
reach up to slap him in the face.
Have you?
I have not slapped someone in the face, but I did punch my best
What?
friend in the face when
What?
we were in middle school.
Oh,
Yeah.
middle school. Okay, thank God.
Yes.
Wow.
It was like I don't know. I don't know what we were arguing about, but we somehow got in an argument and I think she like pushed me first and then I was just like, fuck this. And I clocked her in the face and like
Dang.
knocked her glasses
Whoa.
off her face.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Did you get in trouble?
No one was there. We were left unsupervised a lot. We just
Oh, I
went to
know,
whoever's house, like whose parents weren't home
Same.
and hung out there. And so, yeah, there was like no one around.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting too, how like when you look back at like your upbringing, I think about how many times we snuck out. Like that was a big thing when I was growing up. We would sneak out at like 2 a.m. or whatever it was. And like my kids don't do that.
Yeah. Like, is that still a thing that kids do that?
I guess they don't, because mine don't. I mean, they don't. I know they don't.
I only snuck out of other people's houses.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I would never do it at my home
Really? Why?
because I was going to get caught at my house. And I didn't want to be caught by my mom or my dad. But if
Would
it
it
was
ever
someone
be
else's
worth it?
parents, I was like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
I was like, we actually did get caught by my friend's dad. We got caught with alcohol too, and he didn't do anything outside of like
I
poured
got
out.
caught all the time, didn't give a shit. Like caught, and even one time my parents were up and I wanted to leave because I was in trouble for something else. And I just told my friend to pull up and I ran as fast as I could out the door before they knew what was happening and jumped in the car.
Really?
I was like bad.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's that Catholic upbringing, man.
The Catholic upbringing. Yeah, I know I've said it on the show, but I mean, I in high school spent the night in jail.
God, that's so crazy. I have never spent the night in jail. Knock on wood that never happens. I wouldn't last a second.
Well,
I have been put in handcuffs though by a police officer, but it was a police officer that I knew. Like
okay.
he was basically demonstrating. Okay, I worked at a skating rink, right, in high school, and on Friday and Saturday night we would have a police officer there
Okay.
just to manage the crowd and stuff. And it was this guy who's so hot. Like he looked a lot like The Rock, but not as big.
Yeah.
And he was really cool, just like maybe like 8 years older than me.
Okay.
So, but anyway, we're talking about like what it's like to arrest someone, like what do people like complain about, all this stuff. And he was like, well, they always complain about the handcuffs hurting. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. And he was like, let me put them on you. He's like, this will be a good lesson for you too, to make you never want to get
Want to be in
or,
handcuffs. Yeah.
yeah. So he had me like lay down on my stomach, put my hands behind my back. He handcuffs me. And then he goes, this is how I pick people up when they're in handcuffs. And he picked me up by the handcuffs,
Yeah, to
like
show you.
brought me to my feet. It hurt so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like,
You were like, oh, we'll do that.
I was like, good.
Yeah. That's
So.
hilarious. That's really funny. I was in handcuffs that night, and I remember it's actually the girl that got arrested with me was probably my first girl crush. I mean, she was someone I was really into. You know, when I talk about the girl that used to rub my arm to go to sleep when I would stay the night at our house, this was her.
Oh my God.
She, we got arrested together in high school. And I do remember sitting in the back of the car with her, and we both were kind of like looking at each other, kind of laughing. Like, I can't this fucking happening.
Is it like if you're under 18, is it just kind of like, that like it's not that serious?
Well, I don't know if it was that or if it was just like we were so nervous that it was like funny to like, you know, when you laugh when you're nervous, but I don't know at that age, like looking back, I don't know where, like I assume it was just regular jail, but there wasn't anyone in my cell with me, but she was next to me. And then they couldn't get in touch with our parents because we had taken our phones off the hook so that nobody would call. So that's why I had to stay. They would have let my parents come get me, but my parents, they couldn't get in touch with the parents.
That move backfired.
I know, totally backfired.
Wait, but what were you guys doing?
We weren't even doing anything that bad. Like we were. We took one of the kids' mom's car and we're just like joyriding around, and then they tried to pull us over, and we did the thing where you like pull over and then waited until the cop got out of the car, and then we took off
And
again.
then you bolted. Oh my God.
So then it was like we took off in the car, then parked the car, then took off running. We were bad. Like I look back, I'm like, I can't even believe I did, because I'm such a rule follower.
That's wild.
As you know that about me. Like I don't break.
I mean, same.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the law when I was in high school, but I had no issue getting in trouble at school. Like I was like, what in the fuck are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
You know, like give me administrative detention for 2 hours. Like I'll just do my homework.
Right.
Like I didn't give a shit. And it would irritate the fuck out of like whoever was disciplining me, that I just was like, okay,
whatever. Okay. Yeah.
that sounds fun.
I think too, like when you go to Catholic school, like the classes are tiny, you know everyone. So it also just felt safe. Like it's not scary to get in trouble because I've known this woman since I was little. They were nuns, half of them.
Would they hit you?
No.
I
know I've heard of that, but ours didn't. Not at least. Maybe they did, other kids.
Maybe there was a whole other room you didn't even know
A
about.
whole other room I didn't know about.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up with our dates.
Our dating segment.
The Love Lounge. All right, we'll go with something fun. What's your favorite condiment?
Damn.
Like sauce?
Yeah. I
or
mean, If salsa can't be a condiment,
right?
no, right?
I don't think so. I feel like this has been debated before,
Okay,
whether or
well,
not salsa is a condiment.
I don't know how you pronounce this, but I fucking love it. It's that, what's the sauce that, it's like aioli or
Aioli, yeah.
aioli. That is my like weakness. If you give me
Really?
that,
I
then
almost
I'm done.
always say to take that off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, see, we're a perfect match. I can have yours.
Um, I would say either ranch dressing.
Okay, yeah, ranch
I
is.
know that's so like basic,
No, it's not.
or that sauce that they have at the Japanese steakhouse, the yum yum sauce.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I could drink that shit.
Yep, yep,
Like
yep, yep, yep.
there's heaven is filled with that, I'm sure, and there's no consequences.
I
of,
know,
like,
right? I'm a condiment, like I do obscene amounts of condiments.
uh-huh.
Rhea literally is like, I can't even watch this. Like, this is obscene. Like, I do a lot of condiments. Like, if there's
That's
ketchup, if I'm having fries, it's a mountain of ketchup.
yes. Do ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together?
Sometimes,
So good.
but I've been really trying to be very healthy. And I'm doing something new where I'm like fasting.
Oh, really?
So now I'm like very not eating as much. Tiffany is home from college, and of course she's just like, this is so boring now with you. The food situation here sucks. And it does, because I like chips and salsa are my worst weakness. Like I can't
Mhm.
have it because I will eat the whole thing.
That's me and queso, man.
Yeah, it's so
Like,
fucking good.
God, that shit is delicious. And but they've raised the prices on it so much, like at the Mexican restaurants near me. It's
Really?
like $13,
Wait,
$14 for like a
why
thing
did
of
they raise the
queso.
prices on queso?
I don't know. They also raised the
What?
prices on their house margarita to like $17. And I was just
What?
like,
It's like one Mexican restaurant?
There's a few. So there, but there was the main one that I was going to that's like closest to my house. And Brecken doesn't really like Mexican food, but they have a little pizza that he would eat. So it was like a good little spot for us to go. And Kaylin loves cheese dip. But yeah, last time I went there, I got my bill and I was like, where the fuck did we go? Because I thought
Yeah,
like this is
yeah,
supposed to be the cheap place.
that's insane.
No more.
So, okay, so, that's really funny.
But I also probably don't need to eat queso and margaritas once a week. Anyway,
No, I definitely don't. It's just the times are a changing
yes.
for sure.
Well, Charlie, do you want to introduce the Love Lounge?
Yes, tell us, Charlie.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. What was that dating game show or that song? Like maybe
Yeah,
we
we
could
need,
find that and play it.
yeah, so the Love Lounge and continue. We're gonna play one, we're gonna do one per episode, or do you want to play two for this one?
Let's do one.
Okay. And then how do we want to, we're going to do one for this episode. And then how do we want to, if people want to reach out to them, can we tag people? Like what
Ooh, that's a good question.
So maybe we'll respond to the one that we're going to post and make sure it's okay for us to put them on there. I don't remember if she says who she is, but one thing I will say about one of them I listened to is I love that she said her number one criteria is kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that like to me, it's like that's deserves repeating.
Absolutely. Like on a first date, first few dates, pay attention to how they treat like the server at a restaurant or a bartender.
Yeah.
I think that is like says so much about someone.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I think that is very, very, very important. And I always say like, I like really smart women, but I do think before that even is kindness. Like there's something so attractive to me about someone who's so confident in themselves that they can be very kind. It's like
right.
when you're kind of a jerk, it really just tells me that you don't feel very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, what are you mad about?
Yeah, what are you so mad about? Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited about this new segment.
Yeah. And if you guys want to be part of it, shoot us an email.
Yeah, shoot us a thing, and like you'll hear how this person does it, and I thought she did it brilliantly. So just more of these.
Yes, and have a good holiday.
Yeah, have a great holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hi, Melissa and Allie, longtime listener of the podcast. My name is Caitlin, and I am 38 years old. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I've found that the pool of women in Denver is pretty small, so I thought I would reach out to you guys. I am looking to meet a woman roughly around the same age as me, kind of 30s or early 40s. And ultimately what I'm looking for is someone who is kind. That is my number one criteria. Kind to me, kind to others. Sense of humor for sure is really important to me. Also, someone who likes to be active and do things, someone who wants to go with me on hikes, go to the theater, but is also equally comfortable to relax and kind of just doesn't have to be going all the time. Also, someone who is understanding of the fact that my time may be limited. I have young kids, I have a full-time job, so I'm open to people who live in the area or a long distance situation, as long as it's someone who is communicative, when we can't be in person, someone who is okay to remain connected via text and calls and FaceTime. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys and your podcast more than I can articulate. Thank you both.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. That was perfect. And if you would like to get in touch with Caitlin, just shoot us an email and we'll get you her contact info. Also wanted to include before we wrap up that there is a new support group for people living in Austin, Texas. So if you live in Austin and you need some support, you can email, it's called babygazatx@gmail.com or babygazatx on Instagram. And it's BABYGAYSATX. And yeah, you got your support there in Austin, so use it. Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandallie@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Allie, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.